Hello, everyone. I'm Armando Perez, Chair of United Way of Greater Houston's Board of Trustees. Our 2020 annual meeting looks a little different. As much as we wish we could be together to talk about all we accomplished this past year and to celebrate our Volunteer of the Year, we're glad to be together virtually, and we appreciate you joining us. Since we are online, we will try to move through things fairly quickly, but I hope you will take time to read the depth and breadth of our accomplishments in United Way's annual report, which highlights the year from April 2019 through the end of March 2020. When it became clear that we would postpone and eventually move our meeting online, we moved forward with voting on new board members and other business during our April board meeting. I'd like to quickly recognize our new, re-elected, and outgoing board members. The board voted to elect for a 3-year term David L. Callender, President and CEO, Memorial Hermann Health System, Clint Follett, Managing Director and Partner, Boston Consulting Group, Scott Hallam, Senior Vice President, Williams, Doug Ferdehert, Chair and CEO, Technic FMC, and Tracy J. Renfro, Partner at King and Spalding, LLP. The board also voted to re-elect for a 3-year term Mark Boone, Cynthia Colbert, Cardinal Daniel DiNardo, J.F. Poupeau, and Donna Sims Wilson. Also, Neil Duffin will extend his service by 1 year, John Gremp and Sue Payne will extend their service by 2 years, and Amy Krunis was elected board secretary. 5 members rotated off of the board. They are Marcus Davis, Stephen Fraga, Bob Harvey, Jack Moore, and Allie Pruner. We thank each of you for your service and hard work. I would also like to mention that Bob Harvey was named Board Trustee Emeritus. Bob's contributions to United Way are immeasurable and have had a long-lasting impact on our community. He has served United Way in so many ways for so many years and is deeply involved in our second century vision. We're thrilled to have his guidance and leadership moving forward. I am fortunate to succeed Jamie Roots, President of the Houston Texans, as Chair of the United Way Board. Jamie is going to share some highlights of this past year. Jamie?
Thanks, Armando. You know, it's tough to look back at the past year without the context of the past few months. As the COVID-19 crisis has spread, United Way worked to convene its partners, assess needs, and stand up its response effort. All the while, the 211 Texas United Way helpline was connecting our neighbors with help, hope, and reassurance. Governor Abbott called on 211 to be the go-to resource for Texans looking for COVID-19 information, testing sites, basic needs assistance, and help with unemployment assistance, stay-at-home orders, and good, reliable information that Texans can count on. Since March, 211 has connected more than 70,000 people in our area to help related to COVID-19. And this past year, 211 connected 1.3 million people with help. That's a record number of people and another indication of how important 211 is to our community. In 2019, we released, in partnership with the United Way of Texas, the ALICE Report for Texas, a county-by-county look at what it actually takes to get by and how many people are struggling to do so. Identifying and understanding ALICE not only helped shape United Way's second century vision, but it's also helped the donors of our community understand the importance of the United Way's work. One piece of our work that ALICE really underscores is the importance of United Way Thrive, our financial stability collaborative, which continued making great stride in our efforts to help hardworking families achieve financial stability. This year, we helped more than 61,000 families. We provided 16,200 families with workforce development services, and we helped 14,800 people with game-changing financial education and coaching. While there's not enough time to share all the examples from each and every program of the United Way, there is great and meaningful impact happening through programs that support our youngest through United Way Bright Beginnings, our youth during out-of-school time programs, through the United Way's Veterans Initiative, Mission United, through basic needs assistance, through programs that serve seniors, those escaping domestic violence, physical and mental health services, and so much more. None of this work is possible without many people and organizations that give their time, talent, and treasure to the United Way, and we are so thankful. The community campaign fuels our work, and I want to thank my good friend and our campaign chair this year, Dan Gilbane, for his leadership, helping us to raise a projected $67.5 million this year for our community. 14 extraordinary companies contributed $1 million or more to our campaign. You can see them in our annual report. We're so grateful for their support. I also want to thank our Alexis de Tocqueville Society members who so generously contributed more than $17 million this year. We were thrilled and humbled by the generosity of Rich and Nancy Kinder, whose $1 million gift launched the new Luminary Giving level this year. 37 other families each contributed $100,000 or more this year, helping to lead the way. Thank you for your incredible generosity. We also thank our Women's Initiative, who contributed $5.4 million this year, our Young Leaders, who gave $4.2 million, and our Law Initiative, which raised more than $1.5 million. And we are grateful to many others, our United Way Link members, those who are involved in Stay United, our Impact Circle, Leadership Circle, and Chairman's Club members, our agency partners, and all of those who gave so generously to support our mission. As the COVID-19 pandemic continues to unfold, we know many are struggling for the first time, and those who are already struggling face dire challenges. Your United Way is here for both. While the Greater Houston COVID-19 Recovery Fund has received many generous gifts and continues to raise funds to help our neighbors in crisis, we know our most vulnerable are going to need help rebuilding their lives long after we are out of crisis mode. Thanks to your support, the United Way will be here. Before I turn it over to our new president and CEO, Amanda McMillan, I'd like to take a moment to recognize and thank our campaign chair for 2019-2020, my good friend Dan Gilbane. We didn't get a chance to recognize Dan in March since we had to cancel our closing celebration, but we did send a few gifts to Dan to let him know how much we appreciate his leadership and his commitment and all the work that he did this year. Dan, did you receive the gifts?
I did, Jamie. In fact, I just opened it now. You know, it was such an honor to chair the United Way campaign this year. I learned so much, got to work with so many talented and compassionate donors and volunteers. I really want to thank every donor, every volunteer, every agency and partner, every staff member, and every one of you for your support, enthusiasm, and generosity this year. You just heard from Jamie about some of the great things your efforts make possible. It's been my honor to work with you all and continue my family's legacy of giving through the United Way. I can't thank you enough.
Thank you for all of your work this year, Dan. I am Amanda McMillan, and I am the president and CEO of United Way of Greater Houston. I have been on the job for nearly a month now. I have not had an opportunity to meet many of you yet, but I look forward to being able to spend time with you when it's safe to do so. I'm thrilled to join United Way of Greater Houston, although I recognize I am joining as our community is going through an unprecedented crisis. As you all know, COVID-19 has caused extraordinary hardship for some of our most vulnerable neighbors. I want to take a moment to thank Jamie Roots and Tony Chase for chairing the Greater Houston COVID-19 Recovery Fund. The fund, which is a joint effort of United Way of Greater Houston and the Greater Houston Community Foundation, has received support from so many generous donors and organizations, more than $14 million to date. Thank you all. Your support is providing basic needs like food and rental assistance and other emergency assistance to those who need it most. So far, the Fund Task Force has deployed more than $10 million in grants and is working quickly to deploy more. The Greater Houston COVID-19 Recovery Fund is a true collaboration and a great example of how this community comes together in tough times. In fact, the way this community comes together to help those in need is one of the reasons I am so excited about being part of the United Way team. I look forward to working with you to create opportunities for people in our community to thrive and to bring our Second Century Vision to life. Second Century Vision strengthens our focus on serving and being the champion for our area's most vulnerable families and individuals, the working poor, or ALICE, and those who fall below the poverty level. Much planning and work has been done to prepare for the 2022 implementation of our Second Century Vision. A lot of time and thoughtfulness has gone into what each detail of the vision looks like, into determining alignment criteria, into working with partners, stakeholders, donors, and the community at large now and as plans continue to progress. United Way's agency partners have conducted self-assessments, and United Way staff have also conducted assessments of all agencies. Upskill training has been developed, and some early stage pilot testing has been developed around collaborative partner practices, referral metrics, and in-house navigation and assessment tools. And the planning and foundational work continues. Second Century Vision is a transformation, and we are committed to getting it right. The next 18 months will be spent building out the implementation plan, making appropriate adjustments to our operations, and collaborating with our partners so we are all prepared to have the greatest impact in our community as we embark on Second Century Vision in 2022. Like all good things, this work takes time, but we are certain it is worth it more than ever as we face unprecedented times. And we are grateful to have you along on the journey. We know that this work requires resources and that the needs in our community may be greater now than ever before. United Way has always been here for our neighbors in good times and bad, and with your help, we will continue to stand as a beacon of hope for those who struggle, now as we continue to navigate the COVID-19 pandemic and long after. The community campaign fuels this work, and we are thrilled to have Steve Stevens, president of Amegy Bank, lead the 2020-2021 campaign. We know the campaign will have to look different in many ways, and we are coming up with some creative ideas to work together and to connect people who want to help with opportunities to get involved. I'm excited about the year ahead and about working with all of you to lift up our neighbors and our community. Thank you for all you do for United Way and for the greater Houston area. I hope to see you soon. Now I will turn it over to Mark Watts, who will recognize our Volunteer of the Year. Mark?
Thank you, Amanda. We are thrilled to have you on board and look forward to working with you to advance United Way's work and our Second Century Vision. It's now my great pleasure to present the Volunteer of the Year Award. United Way of Greater Houston's Robert W. Kneebone Volunteer of the Year Award is a tremendous honor, in fact, one of our highest, and I'm thrilled to present this year to Stephen Fraga. Stephen comes from a family with strong ties to the community and a deeply ingrained commitment to giving back. He has honored and grown his family's legacy through his service to United Way and to our community. Stephen's been described as our North Star to United Way, and I think that description is perfect. No matter the issue we were wrestling with or the decision we were weighing, Stephen has always helped keep everyone focused on what is important, serving those in need. As chair of the Community Impact Committee, Stephen helped guide and steward our investments in programs and services that reach people at some of the most critical times in their lives. He's a true champion for our mission and has worked tirelessly to ensure that every gift to United Way results in quality services and compassionate care for those in need. An advocate for those who struggle, Stephen lent his support to help get a City of Houston ordinance passed regulating local payday and auto title lenders. Stephen's testimony before City Council included telling them about a small dollar lending program that his company, Tejas Office Products, provides to its employees so they have an option other than payday or auto title loans. With Stephen's help, Houston's ordinance was passed in December 2013 and today is among more than 40 other local ordinances protecting borrowers across Texas. When United Way has faced tough issues, Stephen provided a balanced and compassionate perspective. He's always respectful and diplomatic, even when delivering hard feedback. He's worked closely with our staff for many years, and those who have worked with him have shared how supportive and caring he is. In addition to our Community Impact Committee, Stephen has served as a board member and on the board's Executive Committee, Executive Compensation Committee, and the Strategic Thinking Executive Committee. Stephen is known for his thoughtful and supportive nature and a sense of humor that puts people at ease. He's strategic and level-headed, always keeping United Way's mission and promise of good stewardship at the forefront. He's down to earth and compassionate, a hardworking small business owner, a committed community volunteer, and a proud husband and father. It's been my great privilege to be by Stephen's side on United Way business for many, many years, and I know how much we have all been impressed and comforted by his steady hand and profound judgment. I've heard that Stephen's father gave him a piece of advice. Do things for the right reason without expecting anything in return. And I have to say, Stephen, it's evident in who you are and all that you do that you took that piece of advice to heart. A few of Stephen's friends wanted to join in this celebration of his service. Let's hear what they have to say.
Stephen, you're so important to United Way that this is actually the first time I've put on makeup and jewelry in about 2 months. But seriously, you have been a true asset to the organization, particularly what you've done for the Community Impact Committee. You've provided great leadership, particularly in those difficult times we've faced. We've had a lot of challenging things occur during your tenure, and you handled them all with grace and compassion. I'm so proud of you, and I know your dad is proud of you too. You are a true legacy to United Way.
Working with Stephen is like taking a master class in leadership. I have learned so much from watching him in action. He is so good at hitting that right balance of decisive action and yet compassion. He's never been afraid to step in and tackle some of the toughest things that we've had to work on at the United Way. But he's done it with so much thoughtfulness and with a keen appreciation of the impact we're having on the partners we're working with as well as the people we serve. Stephen, you are so deserving of this honor. I can't think of anyone who's done more in the recent memory for supporting the United Way. Thank you so much for everything you do. You're a treasure to us.
Stephen, congratulations on receiving the Volunteer of the Year award. I can't think of anyone that is more deserving of this award than you are. My favorite part of seeing people get this award every year is seeing their families and how proud their families are of all the work that they've done for United Way. Unfortunately, we can't all be in the same room together this year, but I hope you will take a few minutes to think about everything that you've done for the United Way and to be proud of your work. I know that myself and all of your fellow Community Impact Committee members are proud of you. You have led our group through some very difficult decisions over the years, and you've had to be out front for the United Way with some really hard conversations with agencies. Throughout all of that, you have consistently been thoughtful and considerate and practical. You've done all of this with humor and with humility and with a smile on your face. And you've made sure that we always focus on our families first, and that we take the time to appreciate the United Way staff and all of their hard work. I can't thank you enough for your service to the United Way. And even though we can't be in the same room together today, I'm really glad to get the opportunity to tell you congratulations for this.
Stephen, you're a remarkable person and a tremendous leader. Our neighbors in our region are better and stronger because of you. Thank you for being the North Star for so many. It's my honor now to present you with the 2020 Robert W. Kneebone Award.
Thank you, Mark. I'm very honored to be this year's Robert W. Kneebone Award winner for Volunteer of the Year for United Way 2020. It's been such a privilege and an honor to serve on the United Way board. It was also a privilege and honor to be chairman of the Community Impact Committee and to be able to really see where all those dollars go to all the incredible agencies we work with. I want to wish Armando Perez, our new chairman, all the luck in the world as he takes over the board. and I know he's going to do a good job. I also want to welcome Amanda as our new CEO. I wish you all the luck in the world, and we'll be praying for you. When I was little, I used to watch my father go off to the United Way board, and I'd ask him, "Where are you going?" 20 years later, I was able to follow my father's footsteps, and my children now ask me, "Where are you off to, Dad?" And I tell them I'm going to the United Way. It has been a privilege and an honor to be a part of such a great organization that does such wonderful things for our community. During this crisis, especially right now, Houston needs the United Way. And I know the folks at the United Way, the staff, the great folks in the 211 helpline, they're there for Houstonians. When you walk into the boardroom at the United Way, there's a wall there of past recipients of this award. And I've looked and admired as I've gone into all my board meetings and all the different things I've done there at the United Way. And I've always said, but I'd love to be on that wall one day. Well, this is an honor to be on that wall along with my Uncle Felix, who was also a past recipient of this award. Again, I wish you, the United Way, all the luck in the world. God bless the work you do, and we'll continue to do all the great work. And I look forward to, when this thing's over, seeing what United Way has done to help everybody. God bless you. Thank you very much.
Congratulations, Stephen. It is an honor to know and work with you. We're thrilled to welcome Amanda McMillan on board as President and CEO. I'd also like to take a moment to recognize and thank Anna Babin for her many years of service and many contributions to United Way of Greater Houston. We wish we could celebrate with you in person, Anna, but we thank you for positioning United Way for the future, and we wish you the best in retirement. Thank you, everyone, for joining us for our virtual annual meeting today and for all you do for United Way and our community every day. I look forward to working with all of you this year. The meeting is now adjourned.